For full details, including terms and conditions, visit unlock.com/legal. Call 1-888-780-6854 to speak with a representative today. Actor Portrayal. Terms and conditions apply.
Lisa, thanks for having me over. Your new kitchen is gorgeous. How'd you find the money to do it?
We worked with this great company, Unlock. They help you unlock the future value of your home to get the cash you need today.
So it's a home equity loan?
No, it's not a loan at all. There's no monthly payments and no interest charges ever. And you can use the money however you want. We were able to redo our kitchen and pay off our credit card debt.
Wow, Jack and I could really use this to finally pay off our old student loan debt. How do I get started?
It's easy. Just give him a call or go to unlock.com.
Call 1-888-780-6854 to unlock the value in your home and get up to $500,000 in cash with no monthly payments and no interest ever. Use the money for home improvements, to pay off debt, or to add to your retirement fund. It's up to you. Visit unlock.com. That's unlock.com, or call 1-888-780-6854 now to get started.
Look, in every great song, there's a bass line you don't even notice until you mute it out and the whole track falls apart. That's how it is with people too. The quiet ones, the steady ones, the ones who don't self-promote but always deliver. We're in a world that rewards volume, flash, charisma, but there's a whole lot of power moving in silence behind it. Welcome to another episode of Uncut Gems. I'm your host, Jay Floyd, tech leader, coach. I help people find their rareness, find their strengths, find their shape, and lean into it, man. 10x themselves. Today, I'm talking about those quiet folks who are essential. Look, when I first started leading teams, I almost missed one of the best engineers I've ever worked with. She didn't say much in meetings. She didn't dominate whiteboards or Slack threads, and she didn't ask for a lot of attention. She just quietly solved impossible problems. At first, I thought maybe she's not engaged enough, but over time, I realized, she's the baseline, right? And I don't mean baseline in a statistical way to all of my data scientists out there. I'm talking about the BASS line for all my musicians out there. Whenever things got shaky, she stabilized the rhythm. Whenever big egos started clashing, she slipped in with clarity and direction. Look, leadership ain't always loud. Sometimes it hums at a frequency you only feel when it's gone. And I think we've been getting this wrong in too many spaces. Performance reviews, team dynamics, hiring panels, even churches. We reward the high notes, but it's that low end that holds it all together. That's that low end theory. Look, let's go into the booth for a minute. When you mix a song, the bass rarely gets the spotlight, man. Like, unless we're talking about like some classic Tribe Called Quest, and that's why it's so dope. But when it comes to like pop music, things that you hear all the time, you don't always hear the bass, but you feel it. If you take it out, it's not going to be the same. Everything collapses. It's the same with that quiet teammate who always asks the one question that changes the whole plan. Or that father who doesn't speak much but shows up every single day. Or any coworker that they don't want the mic, but they make the meeting make sense. They make the work make sense. And I'm going to bring it back to something I did last time. Let's take it back to the squared circle. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Let's take it back to wrestling. Think about the Undertaker again. He didn't yell. He didn't even really talk much, right? He had a manager that would talk for him. He didn't even say things for years. He didn't cut fast talking promos. He just existed. Presence, aura, stillness. It's what he brought to the table. And when that gong hit, everybody felt something. You knew who was coming out. That's baseline energy. Look, so if you're the quiet one in your space, the one who doesn't do performative leadership or loud success, don't confuse your volume with your value. And if you're leading people, I want you to ask yourself, who's the baseline in this room? Who's the baseline on my team? Who's holding it all together even when they're not raising their hand? Am I celebrating them or am I sleeping on them? Because the truth is, loud don't always mean strong. And quiet don't always mean absent. Some of the most powerful leadership is felt. It's not heard. So if this hit for you, send it to somebody who's always steady but never gets spotlighted. Remind them that you see them. Or better yet, say it out loud. All right? So look, thanks for checking in on this episode, man. I love y'all. My next episode is going to be called Design to Fail, right? It's talking about what systems you're running on. We're talking about why brilliance breaks down and why it's forced into systems it was never meant for. I share the story of how I stopped grinding and started designing around my rare. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy. Peace.